Hello again, my little paratroopers, and welcome to another Mordian Glory video. In today's episode, we shall be deep diving and reviewing the new US Airborne Starter Army. And let me tell you, this box set is a really big deal. Because not only does it update some of Warlord's best and coolest infantry from metal into plastic, but it also updates one of their most popular starter armies of all time. The old US starter paratroopers was a fantastic box set, and this one somehow has managed to improve it. So without further ado, I'm really excited for this one. Let's go on the green light and drop right into this thing. First things first, let's look at what you actually get inside the Currahee US Airborne D-Day Starter Army box set. This box set does come jam-packed with everything you need for a US Airborne Army in Bolt Action 3rd edition. You're going to get 36 of the new US Airborne infantry. Those are the ones in the D-Day uniforms. You're also going to get a US Airborne officer in Warlord Resin. Let me just highlight that for a second. Warlord Resin is bloody fantastic. It's not like traditional resin. I know a lot of people get put off by that stuff. It's good stuff. And I actually think it's one of the best materials that they make models at the moment, because it's all of the benefits of plastic models in terms of like ease of like building them, with all of the benefits of resin models, as in all of the details. So Warlord Resin's a really, really cool thing. And when you see it, it's not like traditional resin. It's actually something different, and it's very good. Getting back to the main topic here, we've got two US Airborne medium machine guns with metal gun and Warlord Resin crew. We've got one US Airborne medium mortar team, metal gun, Warlord Resin crew. We've got one US Airborne 75mm pack howitzer. We've got one US Airborne 57mm anti-tank gun. So that'll be a medium anti-tank gun. And I think both of those are going to be fully in metal. Although the crew may come in Warlord Resin, it doesn't state that here. So I think these two are going to be fully metal. Another quick side note, when it comes to metal models, you are going to need super glue. If you're a veteran of this hobby, that might sound kind of obvious, but we've got a lot of new people who are coming into Bolt Action 3rd edition at the moment. They're coming from other games where everything is in plastic. And so the assumption that your plastic glue will work on metal models, no. You will need super glue. You don't need any kind of fancy special super glue, but I tend to find, I'm not sponsored for this, by the way, but I like to use Loctite super glue, or I actually use Element Games' Element Basics super glue. Those two work really, really well. I've tried like pound store super glue. It never seems to work as well. So I always go for Loctite or the Element Games super glue. Now, the important thing with any starter army is how good of a start does it give your army? And I'm confident to say that the US Airborne one is actually pretty good. So 36 plastic infantry is more than enough. You might think you want a lot more than that, but you've got to remember that paratroopers tend to be taken as veterans. Now, if you're new to Bolt Action, what that means is that they are tougher, they've got better leadership, but they cost like 13 points per model. And that's before you add in the cost of things like SMGs and BARs. So you'll think that 36 isn't enough, but actually, if you take everything as it should be, fully veterans, loaded up with lots of special weapons like SMGs, BARs, and whatnot, you'll find that actually 36 is more than enough. You might actually have a few spare left over, which is a good thing, because this is going to sort you out for your rifle platoon. Remember, in 3rd edition, everything's broken down to different platoons now. And you're going to have an officer for that rifle platoon, but you're probably going to need a couple of these infantry to be turned into officers for the other two platoons that you're going to run. And you're going to have a heavy weapon platoon with 2 medium machine guns and a medium mortar. And you're going to have another platoon, which is going to be an artillery platoon with the pack howitzer and the anti-tank gun in. So you can easily build 3 platoons from this box set. And I recently ran a pure infantry para-teamed army. Admittedly, it was for my German Fallschirmjäger, but it was very, very similar to this. And not only did I find it to be highly effective, I actually went undefeated at the tournament that I was at, but I found it to be really, really tough. And it played how it felt it should play. You know, infantry worming the way forward, beating the odds, all that kind of good stuff. Very Power Trooper themed. So I think that Warlord Games has actually smashed it with this box set. But I do know that there is a bit of an elephant in the room here. I do know there is going to be potential that could be held against this box set, which is that it doesn't have any vehicles in it. For example, if we take a look at the Rattenkrieg German veteran infantry starter army, you'll see that not only do you get your infantry, but you also get a couple of vehicles. What's important to note is if you come down here, you'll see that the German starter army isn't getting that artillery piece. It's not getting that anti-tank gun either. So essentially what's happening with the Kurahi starter army is you are not getting the vehicles, but you're getting the guns instead. You're getting the artillery and stuff instead. So at this point, we can confirm that we are getting a good starter army. We're getting a wide variety of units that lets us create different platoons. We've got a solid foundation. And if we wanted to expand from this box set, it would be easy to do either getting some more infantry or even adding some tanks in. So it's a really good way to start. But how does it stack up versus some of the other US airborne starter armies that we've had in the past? And how do these new plastic US airborne infantry stack up against some of the older ones that we've had? Let's start off by looking at the quality of these new infantry. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. Warlord keeps going from strength to strength with these new plastic models. They are going all out in 3rd edition. So this is a look at one of the sprues that you get, and you're going to get 6 of these sprues in the box set. So each sprue allows you to build 6 infantry. And as you can see, the infantry, they've got a variety of poses in the bodies, but most importantly, the arms come together. This might not seem like such a big deal, but it is a really big deal. In the past, you had arms that basically were just hands, and then you had to like try and like line the rifles up into the hands, and the hands just became like balls of glue. It was the same as some of the older US infantry, and it was same with the old like Soviet infantry, just awful. Like, I don't, basically, especially if you use like super glue on them, you just get like cum balls of hands. It's just awful. So they've got rid of that now, and these new infantry are finely detailed. You can see they've done all the little like knee pads and everything, got all the different pouches on there. There's like grenades molded on, and then you get extra bits like backpacks. You've got the entrenching tools, and then you've just got the variety of heads that you get. Despite the fact that there's only like 6 bodies here, you've got some of the Mohawk head guys, and then you've got another bunch of. I think there must be over a dozen heads for 6 models. So loads and loads of variety in terms of which head swaps you can do, which will make each model feel very unique. You've also got a great selection of weapons here. SMGs coming out the wazoo. I can see a couple of Thompsons here and a grease gun. I don't think we've had a grease gun on the Airborne before, so that's really cool. We've got plenty of rifles. We've got a mixture. We've got another SMG on here. We've got plenty of rifles. So we've got like a mixture of the carbines, if you're a carbine fan. And then we've got the good old Garand. Never lets you down. We've also, what I really like about this is we have got a BAR in here. That's really good. I like that. BARs are a really solid weapon for the Americans, and anytime you can just get more of them into your list, you tend to want to do that. Definitely was the case in 2nd edition. In 3rd edition, they're still a brilliant weapon, and they're still just iconic to the way the Americans play, just in general. And then we've got a machine gun. So this is really cool because you could use this machine gun to have an LMG in the squad. Or if you had like a large 60mm round base, which you can get for next to nothing off eBay, I'm sure Warlord probably has some spare as well. There might even be some extras that come in this box. You can actually make an extra MMG team. Now, to be fair, your starter set does come with 2 of them, but you might want to spam them. And so this is really cool because it allows you to go for more MMGs, or it allows you to have LMGs in the squad. This is very similar to the Rattenkrieg. I think they've got a picture of it here. That's the rifle. There you go. So you see how you can make an an MMG team here. You've got the 3-man MMG team with the MG34. You can basically do the same thing with the Kurahee infantry because it comes with that MMG. It's very, very nice. Or that 30 cal machine gun. So it's really good. So very, very detailed. You've got bazookas in here as well. So you've got bazookas, you've got LMGs/MMGs, you've got SMGs. Sorry about that. And you've got rifles, you've got BARs, you've got bits. I'm sure there's bits for make officers in here. So yeah, you've got the bits for like pistols for like officers. You've got binoculars for making your observers. There's just everything you need in here. And then there's just pouches upon pouches and bits and just everything. So finely detailed plastic infantry, which have been brought up to the current fantastic standard of Warlord games. So this is what we get now. What did we used to get? Well, the infantry that they are actually replacing is this box set, the US Airborne 1000 Point D-Day Invasion. Now, you'll notice that this is a bit of an old box set, so there's not as many pictures for it. But the D-Day infantry have a slightly different uniform. It's the same uniform you find here. They've got like the knee patches and the elbow patches and all that kind of stuff. Now, these models here were one-piece metal. And basically, what you got was 3 10-man squads. And I think you got an MMG and a mortar. I think that was it. You didn't get a huge amount. Yeah. You got a light mortar as well. So you got an MMG team, a bazooka and a light mortar, and then you got what was essentially 38 infantry. If you add all these up, you got 38 infantry. Now, if you notice, this box set costs £104. And 25 pence. If we look at the box set that we've got here, this costs £104 as well. So we're saving a mighty 25p. I know it's not such a big deal, but we're saving we're basically the same price, but we're getting so much more. We are getting we're getting the same amount of infantry. We are getting a medium mortar over a light mortar. We're getting double the amount of medium machine gun teams. We're getting basically the same amount of infantry, one less to be fair, but then we're also getting the pack howitzer and we're getting the 57mm anti-tank gun. So in comparison to the old D-Day style infantry starter army, we are getting so much more. And the best bit is the vast majority of this stuff is either in plastic or it's in Warlord resin, which is amazing. So this box set is just a straight up massive mega upgrade over the old one. Now, one thing I want to say here before we move on, I have this box set and I love it. And the reason I love it is because the uniforms on them, and it's the same uniforms here, are really unique with those shoulder pads, with the elbow pads and the knee pads and stuff. And they're really, really detailed. I know a load of people that bought this metal box set because of how detailed it was. Now, these metal models have essentially been remastered with all, and I can tell you, I know off the top of my mind, I've got the old metal models, I'm comparing them mentally to these ones here. These ones would upgrade it even further. But an upgrade over what, you might be asking? This is where we have the old plastic US Airborne starter army. Now, don't get me wrong, this is an amazing starter army, and I still actually highly recommend it. But these models that you get, they're just not as good quality. They're fine, but they're not as detailed. So I myself, when I was deciding which US Airborne infantry to get many years ago, before this box set, before this new box set was out, I could have got this box set or I could have got this one. And I chose this one because these models were just really cool and just looked better than these ones. Well, what's crazy now is that if I had to choose between this box set here and this one, I wouldn't even hesitate. I wouldn't hesitate at all, because these models are such a massive, massive upgrade over the old US Airborne starter army. Now, here's the thing. The old US Airborne starter army is still bloody great. Why? Because it's very cheap. This comes in at 69. Nice, £69. And you got, for your £69, you got 36 US Airborne infantry, so same as the new one. And you actually got 40 because you got the Airborne figures, but you got one machine gun team, not two. You still got the medium mortar and you got the anti-tank gun, but you didn't get the pack howitzer. So if you're trying to decide between this box set and this one, it comes down, both of them are actually valid. I think this one is good if you can't afford or you don't want to pay for the £104 one. I think this one is great. But personally, if you can go for the new box set, I would do. The quality of life improvements, the quality of model improvements is worth it alone. The fact that you then also get the extra howitzer and the extra machine gun team is really nice. So overall, I can very easily give this box set 2 thumbs up. You're getting great models, great quality, and you are getting a straight up upgrade over what was available before. And in fact, no word of a lie, I am seriously tempted to sell my old metal models that I've got here and then replace them with these ones, because I think these ones will just be so much more fun to build and to paint. I just think they're really, really good. At least that's what I think. But of course, all of this is just like my opinion, man. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Do you like this starter set? And how do you think it compares to some of the other starter sets that we have seen released for 3rd edition so far? If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to never miss an episode. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Alex Dengal, Bon Vert, Lord Pryor, Mark Panconi, RJ Scorpion, Swordfish Trombone, Try Again Bragg, John Stubbs, Nick Walsh, Diesel Fox, and August Barney. Seriously, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video. And of course, as always, I'll see you guys next time.